Hey folks, I think I'm live. How you doing? Um all right, quick explanation. Sorry I've been so non-productive, I guess. But I have not been doing videos very much lately, so I apologize for that. I apologize for man, not putting more content out. Uh yeah, before we get going, I don't know. I feel like I'm beginning to do this kind of like speech every time I do a video. Like, oh, hey, sorry, I don't do things anymore. Blah 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 blah. So I just wanted to say hello out there to YouTube land. How you doing? I missed you, and I want to come back. I hope that's okay with you. So I'm going to be doing a little more regular videos. I'm also on TikTok. You can find me TikTok at Justin Cristelli. So I just want to basically put myself back out there. Hey, man. Hey, Bizarro Guy. Missed you, man. How you been? Hey, dude. All right, let me just do a quick couple of shares here with me, the real Manos. And okay, I just put that on, what do you call it? Twitter. And I'm also going to put that on Facebook right here. Okay. Boink. And one more time, I'm going to put it also on, let's see, the Real Manos Facebook page. Give me 1 second here. Let me adjust myself. You can all relax and get a drink, put your feet up, and we'll be doing some live entertainment in just a moment here. I'm live again. We're back. Okay, put those announcements over up on there. And hi, Bizarro. Whoa, man, that looks bad. Hey, Bizarro Guy. Just wanted to check in and see you guys doing. This is not a bad looking setup here. I think that looks pretty good. So hi. Let's see. Let's just make sure. I might need to get if I'm going to do this live thing more often, maybe I might see about getting a better webcam or something. This one's not bad, but it's a little fuzzy. I hope you can hear me just fine. So, I'm enjoying some lovely green tea. So, this is what I'm going to be talking about for my first live show back. Is going to be talking about the first 3 episodes of Hawkeye, and I'm going to be talking about my reactions to the news on Mystery Science Theater 3000. Actually, it's kind of old news, frankly. I'm just kind of just playing catch up. I haven't really done any new videos about Mystery Science Theater 3000 lately, so I'm just going to be talking a little bit. And I'm going to be covering the new season very much. I'm very much anticipating this new season. I will also take this opportunity to talk about last week's comics tonight. Holy shit! Manos is going to talk about comics. And I think that'll probably cover us for the hour. And if anybody shows up to ask me stuff, I'll do that too. Hey, Joel Davis. Hey, Bizarre Guy. Thanks for showing up. Really appreciate it. And I'll be, of course, taking questions here and there. So let's get started. I'm going to be talking about, I guess, let's see. Should I talk about comics, Hawkeye, or Mystery Science Theater first? Hey, Joel and Bizarre Guy, you're here first, so you can tell me what to do. What do you feel like hearing me talk about? I can go in any direction we want because I am a very, very bad director. Okay, we're going to talk about Hawkeye first. Thank you, Joel Davis. You're the first off the board. All right. So I was very excited about this Hawkeye thing because I'm a huge dork for the Matt Fraction Hawkeye series with David Adja and a few other artists who worked on that book. So It's kind of funny because you get to hear people talk about uh, this show coming up who are not experienced with that, who don't know anything about it, or maybe just familiar with the MCU or don't read Marvel or didn't read the Hawkeye series or whatever. And, not too excited about that, wondering why we were doing it and shit like that. And like, look, you got Kate Bishop. This looks like it's going to be inspired by the Fraction run. I am fucking in. And I knew, of course, it couldn't be a direct adaptation because the MCU has its own continuity. So it really can't really do a direct adaptation anymore. Because if they do, it'll feel really weird and jarring. And they've done some really nice stuff. This definitely does have the feel of the original comics. It has that kind of Shane Black vibe. It's funny. I've heard people talk up and down about Die Hard. It's like, no. This is like Shane Black. This is like Lethal Weapon, The Nice Guys, Iron Man 3, that kind of thing. I love Shane Black's work, so I'm really excited to see that kind of like vibe hit this thing with the Christmas feel, as well as like his partnership with Kate Bishop. And I like how it's slowly coming along. Not slowly. I think I've heard too many people say slow as if they know what they're talking about. I'm watching this like confidently pieced together. It's really funny. Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld really make this. They are a very good team. Their chemistry is fantastic. The way they've been playing off each other. I have to say, I'm really enjoying the humor in it. Episode 1 was a lot of people were kind of like sold and attracted to the fact that there's the joke about the Steve Rogers musical. And you know what blows my mind is I heard so many people talk about this being like a reference to the Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark musical. It's like as if Hamilton doesn't exist. This is very much a take on Hamilton, the way the effects are played down, and the costumes are played down, and the focus is on the music and the dancing. This is obviously like what a Hamilton styled version of Steve Rogers' life would be. And I imagine the musical kind of like talks about his life from like World War II, being frozen, coming out, being part of the Avengers and shit like that, all the way up until I'm not sure what the general public knows about Steve Rogers at the end of his life. Like how did he retire? What happened to him and stuff like that. I'm not sure. The films and TV shows have been kind of vague on that front, but it's fine with me. So I love the mystery that we're kind of jumping into with Kate, kind of figuring out what's going on with her mother and her connection with Jack the swordsman. Let's just call him swordsman. I love this actor. I love how smarmy and obviously evil he is. He's wonderful. He's like a European Paul F. Tompkins. He's great. Love him. I love the Tracksuit Mafia. I love the appearance of Echo. I'm going to kind of be going all over with this. I apologize. I'm not going to be talking about this in a very detailed way. But I love episode 3 with Echo, and I think her backstory is nicely done. And boy, that's a great action sequence. I mean, half the episode is action. So, I mean, you kind of sold me. Speaking of action, I love the what was it? The LARPer scene in episode 2. That was fantastic because Clint is barely fighting. Like he's like had real superhero fights, and that's his life. And these guys are playing around, and they're just people. So that was hilarious as fuck, I gotta say. Let's see. Let me see if I have any comments here. Honestly, I found the MCU adaptations of things are honestly better than the original comic, like Civil War, for instance. Yes. The poster looks like Hamilton. Yes. In the MCU, totally springtime for Skullplate. Yeah. And it closed on the first day. So hyped. Thoughts of who the uncle is. Oh boy, and we also get hints of the Kingpin. Yeah, I'm not one of those kind of fans that just jumps to conclusions, like the whole Mephisto thing with WandaVision, because you know what, that was everybody being way too confident and cocky about their own smartness, and like, ooh, look at me, I know a thing from the comics, and then they got mad that they didn't do it. Like, I'm sorry, that's on you. You fucked up. That's not the TV show's fault. That's hilarious when fans get mad at creators not doing their fan fiction. Like, it's not their job to take dictation. So, but in this case, I really do think they're leaning towards Kingpin. This really does feel like Kingpin, and I don't know why they would have gone out of their way to give us that laugh if they weren't doing Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. I don't know when we'll see him. I don't know if he's gonna be a big deal at the end of this series, or he will be just a cameo just to get us confirmed that he is back and he is in the MCU. I'm all excited because I love Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. I love the Kingpin anyway. He's a great villain. He might be. I go back and forth between him and Green Goblin, and Doc Ock as my favorite and Marvel villains. I think they're just fantastic. I sometimes wonder if Magneto makes that list for me, but he goes back and forth so much. I mean, you can make a case for him being an anti-hero or a flawed hero just as much as he is a villain. So I don't know. That's why I kind of like hesitate. But Kingpin, oh my God, he's so great. And I hope he appears. I mean, look, he has this connection with Echo, and they wouldn't kind of like drive it home unless they were doing it. I can't see them doing this with like I can't see them doing this with Silvermine or Tombstone, for instance. Although it'd be neat to see Tombstone. So I'm getting hints of Kingpin. Funny because now's the talk that Daredevil is going to be in Far From Home. Yeah. Kevin Feige confirmed that Charlie Cox will be playing Daredevil. He didn't say when, because I don't know. You want stuff to be a surprise. Fans need to calm down with this shit. They act like they owe us a detailed explanation as to when things are going to happen. Like, no, just have fun, discover things, get excited, watch the thing. These things don't exist to create YouTube videos about. And these diagram videos that you can brag to your friends, like, oh, look how fucking smart I am. That's not why this stuff exists. It's fun to kind of like get thrilled and discover and stuff like that. So I assume Cox will have a cameo in Far From Home. I assume we'll probably get a glimpse of Kingpin in this series. I don't know. And I hope that means we'll see some of the other Daredevil actors. I mentioned this on my TikTok that I feel like they're going to have a new continuity just with these actors. I mean, they could retroactively fit the Netflix series into the MCU, but I think probably the preferred method is to just start fresh just with these actors, and also give the actors kind of like a chance to kind of go at these roles a little bit differently. So I think that's fun. They're doing that with J.K. Simmons and J. Jonah Jameson, so I assume they're going to do that with this. And of course, we're doing the DC rules on multiverse, so it's like, hey, maybe that's a multiverse, and this is this verse, and blah blah blah. Matt appeared anywhere. I'd love to see him in She-Hulk. Yes. Joel Davis. I mean that in a few ways. We might have hopefully the best MCU villain and William Dafoe's Green Goblin. I'm so hyped for that. So am I. I'm just sad that Dafoe's Green Goblin never got to meet Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. That would have been fun. Man, just give me one scene of those two guys being bitches towards each other. That would have been great. But oh well, we didn't get it, so that's fine. Also, this means like now, which Green Goblin is this? Like, is this like a brand new alternate variant of Green Goblin played by Willem Dafoe, or are we doing the rule? Are we doing kind of the story from the comics where Osborn survived the impaling because he had a healing factor they didn't know about? Will we be doing that? The two remaining Raimi films kind of really hinted at maybe he's alive, maybe he's not, but it was mostly a dream through Harry Osborn, but it kept fucking with us. So I don't know. Maybe he really is alive. So maybe he did survive. So that would be fun. I don't know. But getting back to Hawkeye, I am enjoying the shit out of this show. I think it's fun. I love the chemistry between the lead actors. The action's great. It's kind of everything I hoped this show would be. I love the fact that they included his hard of hearing. That he has just had too much battle damage over the years that it's just cost him his hearing. And there's like some wonderful scenes particularly in 3. I love the scene of him trying to talk to his son with Kate assisting him with notes. God damn, that was good. Echo's father, that guy is only in a couple scenes. He's part of the bad guys, but geez, I mean, who doesn't love that guy? That actor I didn't catch his name. I haven't looked his name up, but that actor is absolutely wonderful. He's really touching, and you just feel this is just like a couple minutes of like screen time. You feel his death really. It's kind of hard. So it's really good. So I really dug this. I haven't had a chance to watch episode 4 today. So I hope to. It's going to be a little late. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch this after I get off at 11. So I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to watch it tomorrow. So let's go here. Joel Davis. I love Echo's dad. Yeah, he's a gangster, but he's such a great dad, and I felt bad for him. Yeah, me too. Is beautiful writing and acting. Good Lord, that guy is. I've never watched that guy in anything, but he's acting the shit out of those scenes he's in. Apparently him and the other villains were dead, but apparently Peter messing with the spell brought them back. How? No clue. Well, I'm sure the movie will explain it. Or we could do like the whole let's see. I think the MCU will have it's canon until it's not. Yeah. To be honest, that's not a bad way to go. So I'm enjoying this quite a bit, and I'm very excited to see the whole thing play out. I haven't seen some people like review the show as if, I don't know, these are isolated episodes and they're all chapters. So like, you got to kind of like build up the story, have like, the inciting incident, things go haywire, and then we kind of like alter the conclusion. And I think this is episode 4, so we're kind of gonna get very close to. We're gonna get pretty close to the third act here in this series. So I'm really excited about it. I love this, and if this is Jeremy Renner's like last run of the character, I mean, good Lord, what a good he's been very, very good in this. All right. I'm going to do some comic book reviews. I will continue to do any kind of questions you have about the Hawkeye series or Daredevil and Kingpin. But I just want to talk about some comics. This is what I picked up this week. This past week, I should say. I picked up Fantastic Four 38, The Trial of Magneto, number 4. The Amazing Spider-Man number 80. Captain Marvel 34. And Daredevil, let's see what we got here. 36. There we go. And let's see, I'll just run through these. I'm not going to do any like detailed things about this. Daredevil 36. And this is by Chip Zdarsky. And this is kind of the preceding issue before the Devil's Reign thing starts, which is the next big arc. And Daredevil really You know, it's funny. Daredevil's one of those characters, one of the few characters in Marvel or DC that he manages to miss a lot of the events despite being one of the kind of bigger guns. He's kind of an A-list character, but he's always like, yeah, you know, maybe I won't get involved with this thing over and over again. It's amazing. It's great. I love it because basically that's one of the things that I really loved about Daredevil is that he has been able to maintain a series for 50 years without it being really upended over and over again. And that's the problem with characters that are a little more popular than Daredevil is, Marvel and DC like, hey man, we need that money. So we need them to be involved with this stupid crossover and shit like that. Oh, hey, we got to change them. We got to cut their hair or kill them and then bring them back and all that shit. So Daredevil is popular enough to be one of the A-listers, but not popular enough to get screwed with. It's great. And he's leading an event. Now, last time, I believe the last event he did was Shadowland, which was not great. But I'm totally confident in what's going on. Kingpin, I think, is going all-out war against superheroes in New York, where he's going to be, making them all illegal or something like that. So, I wonder how tied up this is going to be with the original Civil War. Like, had fairly similar situation. Pretty good so far. And I'm going to give this probably 4 out of 5 RAM chips. It's not the strongest Daredevil, but I mean, okay, Daredevil is great. So, Captain Marvel 34 is excellent. This is from Kelly Thompson and Sergio Davila is doing the art, and Sergio is really good. Let's see. One of Carol's villains, I think this is Vox. He's not really playing like a front role, which is interesting. It's let's see, who's this? Yeah, Vox is doing Vox Supreme is doing this plan where he's used these controller suits to take over the powers of previous Captain Marvels, which, by the way, they're all kind of still running around with the exception of the original one. And he has some kind of plan for them, and he is kind of like containing them and forcing them to do what he wants. And they're kind of collecting each other. Which is kind of creepy because they're not talking and they're grabbing each other and they're kidnapping each other and they're forcing each other in these, bondage suits and shit like that. And Carol is like put into this Mr. Spock-like coffin and shot into space. And she kind of develops a new power out of observing Monica and the way she uses her protons. She's able to do this thing. She is able to project herself out of body of some sort, and she's able to free herself using kind of creating a being made out of her protons that she can control. Now, I've been reading Marvel for a few years, and if I know anything about Marvel, when you give any kind of physical form, it eventually gets sentient and tries to kill you. Over and over again, Marvel heroes go through this. So I assume that's going to happen to Carol. Probably not in this story arc, but this is something we'll probably deal with. So I really like what's going on. She ends up coming across this clone of the original Marvel, so maybe we never really have to resurrect that guy. And he's still being controlled. So he catches her, and once again she's captured. And boom, this is some killer stuff. She's kind of going into like this massive power surge, and of course this is called the last of the Marvels. And I've noticed something that Marvel seems to be doing with the Carol Captain Marvels is I think they're kind of like building their own Marvel family. Maybe I shouldn't say Marvel family, but you know what I mean. Like kind of her like core group of Marvels. So I'm very excited to see what they do with this. This is very good. I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 ram chips. Excuse me. So let's go here. And what do we got here? We got Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this one is interesting. We have Clone Spider-Man versus Clone Craven. Last we checked, Clone Craven is sort of a son of the original Craven. He's taken over the mantle after Craven finally got to commit suicide in peace and be left alone. So he drugs Ben Reilly's Spider-Man because I don't think he knows or cares that this isn't like the original one. Well, I mean, fuck it. Like he's clone too, so it's good enough for him, I guess. So he drugs him, and he goes in this really creepy drug trip. I mean, look at this stuff. Look at that face. This is the same kind of face we saw in part 1 of the storyline. Let's see, Bizarro Guy. Clone Craven. It's a little hard to say. Clone Craven, essentially taking. Essentially talking about how Ben is a sellout. And yeah, I mean, he kind of is. And, he definitely seems like that kind of like person that would really attack Ben for this kind of thing. We also do see like the kind of like his handlers. What's interesting in this arc is we're seeing like a lot of humanity in these handlers. Yeah, there's Danger, who is like in charge of this thing, and I think she's going to be. I think she looks pretty much like the lead villain of this thing. And there is a female Goblin coming up, and I can't help but wonder if that's her. Either that or Ben's girlfriend. Not too sure. To be honest, knowing Spider-Man, it could be either one of them. But I think that's kind of where we're going to. So yeah, this is really good. And holy shit, this ends with Danger sending her guys after Miles Morales, going, "Hey, this guy in Brooklyn says he's Spider-Man. Take care of this. This we're gonna sue him." And meanwhile, we're dealing with Peter Parker, the real Spider-Man, in a hospital, and Aunt May goes to someone I thought we'd never see her do that with. She goes to Octavius for help. So I'm very curious about that. Holy crap, I love seeing May and Octavius hanging out together. That's really funny. Let's see, Miles versus Sun. I mean, beyond. Yeah. Let's see. We're going to go to the Trial of Magneto. And this is by... It's a writer I like quite a bit. Who's the writer on this one? It's Leah Williams. Also, this is Lucas Wernick and David Messina doing the art on this. And it begins with Wanda being resurrected right here in the big resurrection room. And she's not clear on like her memories. Everything's kind of foggy for her. But then we get this whole thing of her kind of running into these other alternate Wandas here and there, and they basically kind of piece together in a way. Oops, there we go. Where we kind of get like a whole Wanda once again. So, and then of course we get the monsters that the Avengers and the X-Men have been fighting. For the last couple of issues, they've been basically distracted by this, and that's all dissipated. And we have a reunion with her and Magneto. So, hey, everything's happy, right? Everything's cool, right? Not really. She knows who attacked her, and I think she's suggesting Magneto isn't the one who did it. Pretty good. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 ram chips. I suppose the title, the Trial of Magneto, kind of isn't really true. This isn't a trial. It's not so much a Magneto. The focus really hasn't been on Magneto at all. There's been a lot of focus on Wanda, which is a little bit surprising. But maybe they should have called it something else. I don't know. I don't know what they could have called it, but the Trial of Magneto seems a little bit misleading. It's not that. To be honest, that to me is a nitpick. But this is really interesting what they're doing. Gotta go. I have to help a friend with holidays. The trial is pretty good, but yeah, definitely this title. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe they titled it first and then decided to write it and decided not to change the title. Like, now, look, we already put the solicitations out. We got to still call it that. Bye. Take care, Bizarro Guy. I will do more live shows, I promise. Okay, and that brings us to an actual trial issue, Fantastic Four 38, which this is one of those situations. This is Dan Slott and Francisco Mana. And this is one of those situations that literally can only happen in superhero comics where, okay, let's get this straight. Dragon Man, this cybernetic sentient being, is taking... he's been living with the Fantastic Four lately, and he has adopted the clone of supervillain the Wizard. He's a boy, and he's kind of raising him as his own son, and the real Wizard shows up and wants to sue and get custody. And Dragon Man's like, no, man, you're evil bastard. I'm not having you do that. So the Fantastic Four call the only one they can, Jennifer Walters, the She-Hulk. And I am not finished with the Avengers arc, World War She-Hulk. So I guess in between the end of that and this issue, she kind of gets back to a form of normal, which I knew she was. You know, everybody crying and bitching about what was going on with her. Didn't really... I don't know if they like read comic books, because like these things go in a cycle. Like they go in a big storyline, character gets fucked up or goes away, or you know, some kind of journey and stuff like that. And then they come back to status quo, and that's how these things work. I don't know why people have to forget about that, like, amazingly enough. So this trial kind of takes a turn because Jennifer thinks it's going to be easy because he's a supervillain. You don't give kids to a guy who drinks, and this guy's a supervillain, so he's able to really kind of like turn the tables on them. And it's looking bad for Dragon Man. So Reed and Sue make a choice to step in and go, we'll adopt Clone Wizard. And that seems to be an error because Wizard seems to like bring up the fact that, man, you're not the best parents in the world, and starts to kind of like rip into them, and Ben Grimm might actually kind of be in danger for the custody of their own kids. And of course, keep you up to date, Ben Grimm and Alicia have adopted 2 alien kids. And they're in danger of losing them. Jesus Christ. Was this Wizard's ultimate plan? Kind of a bastard move, but kind of fun. You know, I don't really get to see the Wizard very much anymore. So it's kind of fun to see him kind of, you know, show up and pull some shit. And of course, She-Hulk's here. So, I mean, look, you got me. And I'm going to give that 4 to 5 ram chips. That's a pretty good issue. Hey, Joel Davis, if you do more live shows, I'd love you to talk more about Amphibian, the Owl House. I'm also a big fan of Rebecca Rose's channel. Let's see, she does good analysis on those shows. I agree. I'm a fan. I watch her videos as well. Matter of fact, I've gotten in the habit of watching a new episode of Owl House or Amphibia, and then later in the day, watch her reaction and analysis of said episode. So, yeah, her videos are a lot of fun. Yeah, I guess Amphibia and Owl House are kind of are shows that I would have, if this was a few years ago, if this was like 5 years ago, I'd be doing like weekly episodes, or at least episode by episode reviews of the shows, like I did with Steven Universe. But I've pulled back a lot on this channel, so that's something I could have done and definitely would have done a few years ago, but have not. I've been kind of doing this thing where I talk about, I believe I talked about season 1 Owl House, and I was planning to do a season 2. I was kind of doing these things where I do discussion videos, with a couple of different people. I've been doing a lot with Mr. Multiverse when I do these. I did a couple with Ian, but I haven't been doing many videos with Ian much lately. So I don't know. I hope to do some more. Let's see. I thought you're about to say you don't give kids to a supervillain. I mean, some stories where a supervillain is actually decent parents. Yeah, I know. But I mean, in general, it's kind of a bad, kind of looks bad. Like it's not a good face to put up there. Let's see, I'm super hyped for Amphibia season 3B. I'm so worried about what's going to happen to Marcy. I know. Oh man, Marcy is just more and more ruined with every plot point in this series. Good Lord. That poor girl makes one tiny mistake out of being just vulnerable and sad, and she's been paying for it like tenfold. I assume we'll get a happy ending out of that, but I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine going any further. I mean, they can't. I don't know. I really would doubt they kill the character. So we'll see. I'm very curious to see where Sasha and Marcy's parents are and what they're doing. The show has been really putting that aside for the first half of the season. Like the season doesn't want to talk about it. So we'll kind of start looking into it, because the last episode, of course, was Anne's letters to their parents. So I assume, okay, that's going to follow suit. They're going to start doing that. So, yeah, I apologize. It's definitely one of the casualties of me doing this channel a little bit less often is Amphibia and Owl House, because they would have been big spotlights on this channel. We'll see about that. I've been trying to get back into things. So, hey, you're talking about, seems like cartoons these days have been doing, character gets possessed lately. Yeah, first Catcher and the Prime, and, and Marcy with Corey. Yeah, I mean, it's just always a good method. I am going to refocus on Mst3k, Mystery Science Theater 3000. They just recently, I don't know how well this can pop up on the screen here, but they are doing a new season. They're not going to be on Netflix. I think they're doing their own streaming on this. Finally, Joel has the most control he's ever had on this show. They're doing like 2 hosts. Because Emily was such a hit on their last tour, they've folded her into the show. They have given her like her own versions of Tom and Crow, which I'm not sure. I need to see that in practice. I've grown to really like the Jonah versions of Tom and Crow. So I'm not 100% sure, but that's frankly the only thing. The Mads are back. So looks like everything's really good. I think they have almost a complete season. They are shooting it, and actually they've wrapped shooting, and it's going to be in March. Good Lord, I get to watch new episodes in March. So I haven't done an episode. I haven't done a video about this, but they announced last week the movies for this season, and a couple of movies here I've heard of and I've even seen, and some I haven't. The movies are Santo. Let's see, Santo in the Treasure of Dracula, and that is a wrestler movie. I think it's El Santo from Santo Samson versus the Vampire Women. I think it's the same wrestler character. Not too. You have to forgive me. I'm not like a big expert on Mexican wrestling characters, but I think that's the same character. Robot Wars, which is a direct-to-video movie in the early 90s that I remember seeing. So that's kind of cool. Beyond Atlantis, and I'm not familiar with that movie, so I have no idea what I'm walking into with this one. Munchie is a Roger Corman Gremlins ripoff, and I used to work at a video store in the 90s, and we would have this movie on the kids section shelf, and it looked like garbage. So I'm Not excited to see that, but I'm excited to see them rip it apart. Dr. Mordred, which stars Jeffrey Combs as a very Doctor Strange like superhero. And I've actually seen this film. The thing that comic fans were telling each other in the 90s when Full Moon released this film was this was the Doctor Strange movie we would like to see. I mean, it's a full blown Doctor Strange film, but just with their own character. Demon Squad. Don't know anything about this. Gamera versus Geiger, and this is. I thought this was like the third or fourth Gamera film, the one that they missed, but no, it's after Gamera versus Zigra. So always ready for another Gamera film. The Batwoman, which is not the Wild Wild Woman of Batwoman. There's another Batwoman film out there, so I can't wait to see that. This is I think it's a Mexican wrestler film too. They've done two. The Million Eyes of Sumaru, which, by the way, Riff Tracks did. Matter of fact, I think there's two movies here that I'm familiar with that Riff Tracks did. The next one is H.G. Wells' The Shape of Things to Come, which, by the way, just popped up on Amazon Prime. It's Jack Palance, very cheap Canadian sci-fi version of the H.G. Wells film. It's not great. Oh, that's going to be fun. The Mask, which is not the Jim Carrey mask, of course. It's a horror movie in 3D. Let's see. Also, The Bubble, which I'm not familiar with, and The Christmas Dragon. So, yeah, all set for these. And I've looked them up a little bit, the ones I'm not familiar with. And this looks like a really interesting season as far as films. And it looks like they're revisiting, some past, type of films. They're doing a couple superhero movies. So that gives them the chance to do what they do best is, they find a genre film and use that to make fun of everything within the genre and shit like that. So we get ready for a lot of MCU and DCEU jokes, those two. I always find it funny to me that the Mst3k hosts share the same name. Yeah, their first name is their name, and then the tradition is usually they take on a name of like a well-known character, like or someone in science fiction. Like Joel was Joel Hodgson is like Joel Robinson, which is like from Lost in Space. Mike Nelson with Mike Nelson, and I think that joke is about Sea Hunt, the Forgotten Lloyd Bridges show, where he played a character named Mike Nelson. So they just went with that. Then Jonah Heston, of course, he's Charlton Heston is referencing that. And Emily, actually, Emily is calling her, they're going with Emily Connor, which of course is like, referencing Sarah Connor. So that's really cool. Let's see if you ever, show. Let's see. If you ever need to partner up, talk about cartoons like Owl House and Amphibia, let me know. Let's see. DM me on Twitter. Yeah, I sure will. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I don't know. I may do the format I had been doing. I usually talk to Mr. Multiverse, but I don't know. Anything's up in the air, really. I'll say that. So that's kind of the show right now. We got about 15 minutes. So look, this is my first show back, and I'm going to try. I know I keep saying this. I'm going to try and do this every week, but I'm kind of a liar. But I'm going to try and do these a little bit more regularly, and also kind of use these as a way of catch up. Like, hey, a lot of shit happened. I can't do 12 videos about it. I'll do a live video and kind of cover them that way. So it's kind of a good idea. I don't know. It's a good way to kind of connect about it. Hey, I am, of course, still on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram. But you can also find me in shorter bite-sized form on TikTok at Justin Cristelli. And I've kind of really dug doing short TikTok videos there. I hope to do live videos there, but I think I need to get to 1,000 subs on that. So I just started, so it might be a minute before I do a live show over there. But you can check me out in short order form there. So I hope to do a video a little bit later. I was going to do probably another Mystery Science Theater video very soon. So I'll talk about that, and I'll talk about Hawkeye episode 4 very soon. And I think that's it. So hey, don't forget Red Knight. Where is it? Red Knight #6 is now on sale at manospublishing.com in print and digital. You can catch it there. So, kind of support the channel or Manos Publishing at what is it, Patreon? Because I'm not famous enough to do videos about, I don't know. Let's see. What it seems like everybody on YouTube now has like these 2-minute ads where they stop everything cold and start talking about shaving their balls or earbuds or something like that. And I'm not going to be that famous, so I apologize. But anyway, this is great. Thank you, Joel Davis, for coming on, as well as Bizarro Guy. And hope we can keep doing more videos more often. All right, I'm going to get going, and I'll push the button.